Hey, good morning, or good afternoon, or good evening, depending on what time of day you're watching this. But currently, it is shortly after 10 a.m. on Wednesday, October 25th. It is New Comic Book Day, and I had an appointment yesterday and was not able to do our live sale Tuesday afternoon. So I thought I'd jump on here first thing this morning and go through this week's new releases. There is an awesome stack of new releases filled with great books that you should check out at your local comic shop. So let's drop the Google form link into the comments. Let's get our ticker scrolling there. If this is your first time shopping with us, I should mention that you can purchase any of the items that I'm going to talk about this morning on the live sale, and we will ship anywhere in the United States. Shipping information is on the Google form, which is dropped in the comments. And if you're local to us, we will hold these for you for a week, and you can come in and pick them up. And you can see all the cool stuff firsthand. So if you are joining us live, drop a hello in the comments, like John just did. Hello, John. Good morning to you, sir. Happy New Comic Book Day. And don't forget to give us some thumbs up and some hearts so that Facebook knows that we're doing some good stuff. Morning, Owen. Thanks for joining us this morning, or joining me. It's just me, myself, and I. Before we open at 11 a.m. So I thought I'd hop on at 10 a.m. and we'll go through this week's new releases. It really is an awesome stack of new releases this week. So, once again, a reminder, if you would like to purchase any of the items that I am mentioning on the live sale, comment the word sold and the name of the item, and I will confirm either audibly or with a check mark on your comment that we have a copy available to you. Just a heads up that all of these items are in limited supply and they are first come, first serve, according to the comments that I see on the third party streaming app that I'm using. So let's dive right into it with one of my favorite books of the week, and that is Captain America issue number 2 by J. Michael Straczynski and Jesus Saez. We still have copies of number 1 available if you have not gotten into the new Captain America series. It is definitely new reader friendly, but perfect for longtime fans as well. This issue is $5. And I was talking to Alex about this yesterday. He had already read it, and at the time of speaking to him yesterday, this was his pick of the week, and I really enjoyed it as well. Might be my pick of the week as well. I haven't decided yet. So Captain America number 2 is out this week. $5, like I said, and we still have copies of number 1 if you'd like to get into the new Captain America series. Lots of second issues this week of some really great series. We have a new Captain Marvel series because, of course, we do. $5. This is written by Alyssa Wong, art by Jan Bazilda, with a new Captain Marvel movie coming out in November. It's time for a new Captain Marvel series. So if you're a fan of Carol Danvers and you want to get in on the ground floor of this series, you can check it out. $5 will get you Captain Marvel issue number 1. We have a new Scott Snyder series this week, and this actually is tied, or is in the running for my pick of the week. It is part of the Dark Spaces line, which really means nothing. It's just an umbrella that Scott Snyder is kind of using to tell a variety of spooky stories. This one is called Dungeon, and I think this is one of the scariest stories that Scott Snyder's ever told. It is $5 for issue number 1, and it is about a serial killer, possibly one of the most prolific fictional serial killers that there ever was, who has a series of dungeons scattered throughout the United States. And a tech genius who has retired discovers one of these dungeons, and we learn more about the backstory on these things. That the story opens up 21 years in the past and then goes to the present. But I read this last night before bed, and I was kind of thinking afterwards, maybe this was not the best story to read right before bed. As I said, one of Scott Snyder's creepiest stories. Dark Spaces Dungeon #1 is $5. All right, so I'm super excited about this one. This is Dracula #1, written by James Tiny in the fourth, artwork by Martin Simmons. So this is the same team behind what was it, Department something or other. I'm drawing a complete blank. Um, oh, there it is. Department of Truth. It's in the back. Uh what is this? $5 for Dracula #1. Image Comics has the Universal Monsters license now, and I'm wearing my cool Universal Monsters Roosevelt's shirt in honor of that. Perfect timing with Halloween next week, and this is the first Universal Monsters title out of the gate for Image Comics, and it's written by the reigning king of horror, James Tiny in the fourth. And this is a fantastic first entry. So Martin Simmons' artwork is very reminiscent, kind of Ben Templesmith. It really fits the vibe of Dracula super well. Renfield is kind of the main character in here, which is an interesting approach to take. I'm trying to find a cool shot of Renfield. The artwork is very moody. I mean, it sets the tone. There's a shot of Renfield. Very true to the source material, but also reminiscent of the Francis Ford Coppola Dracula movie from the 90s. So if you're a fan of Dracula and or Universal Monsters horror, pick up Dracula #1 for $5. We have a new horror slash fantasy, what we'll call it horror series, futuristic horror series by Tony S. Daniel. He writes and draws Edenwood. This is the first issue for $4. There is a war between witches and demons going on, and that's what Edenwood is about. Follows a group of teenagers that are looking in the wrong place at the wrong time, and bad things happen to them, and they kind of get caught in a crossfire in this war between witches and demons. Edenwood #1, again written and drawn by Tony Daniel, who was the artist on Noctera as well as Detective Comics back in the Rebirth and New 52 era. Distillery has their first mini series here, and again, you may recognize this format. They did something called the Devil's Cut, which was a one-shot that shined a spotlight on, I think, 11 or 13 different miniseries that are coming down the pipe in 2023 and 2024. This is Gone, written and drawn by Jock. It is $9. It is a sci-fi epic. And I may have mentioned this before. I was on a Zoom call with Jock where they were promoting, or he was promoting Gone. And another retailer mentioned the oversized format. And I am not a fan of this format, but the artists are. So Jock gets to tell some really great story, and he really gets to use the entire palette. And to him and to artists, that is a fantastic selling point. So even though the oversized format may not be something that most comic book fans dig, it does give the artists more room to play with, and that's one of the reasons why they like it. So if you like the art of Jock, then check out Gone. Alan Scott, Green Lantern, issue #1 from DC Comics. This is written by Tim Sheridan, artwork by Cian Torme. This follows in the footsteps of Wesley Dodds, the Sandman, and Jay Garrick, the Flash, exploring stories of these classic Justice Society of America characters. And this is set in the 1930s and 40s and explores aspects of Alan Scott that we may or may not have seen before. So if you're an Alan Scott fan, a Green Lantern fan, a fan of the Justice Society, check out Alan Scott Green Lantern, issue #1 for $4. And if you really want to take a ride into the Wayback Machine, you can pick up this facsimile edition of All American Comics #16, featuring the first appearance of the Golden Age Green Lantern, Alan Scott. This is $7. Again, features the original advertisements. Make your own records at home. Wow. and features the first appearance of the OG Green Lantern, Alan Scott, for $7. We have a new Hellboy series, which is very intriguing. Giant Robot Hellboy, issue number one. This is a three-issue miniseries written by Mike Mignola, artwork by Duncan Fegredo. Very interesting. I haven't had a chance to read it yet. I'm not a huge Hellboy fan, but the premise, as I said, is intriguing. Giant Robot Hellboy is available for $4. All right, just in time for Halloween, it is time for Marvel Zombies Black, White, and Blood. Black, White, and Blood. 3 Marvel Zombies stories per issue. This is a mini series and parental advisory, not for kids. There is a ton of gore in here. So if you're a fan of Marvel Zombies, if you're a fan of gory Marvel comics, then you want to check this out. I will say that the Black, White, and Blood component is very eye-catching. There's a Spider-Man story in here. This is what it looks like. We've got a Daredevil story and a Moon Knight story in this first issue. Really like the color palette of black, white, and red for these characters. I mean, it is intense. So Marvel Zombies, Black, White, and Blood is $6. The first story, the Daredevil story, is by Garth Ennis and Rachel Stott. I love Rachel Stott's artwork. Second story, featuring Spider-Man, is Alex Segura with Javi Fernandez. And the Moon Knight story is by Ashley Allen with Justin Mason on art. And the Spider-Man story is really strong too. All 3 stories are very strong in here. All right, Owen got you a copy of Marvel Zombies. Thank you. All right, we're back to coming back for seconds. Issue number 2 of Predator versus Wolverine. The first issue sold gangbusters. I think it's going to be one of our best-selling titles of the year. We get issue 2 here. I can't remember whether this is 4 issues or 5 issues, but this continues the story of Logan interacting with the Predators through the years. So we get a story set during his time with Team X, where they're wiping his memory on a regular basis, and he's hanging out with Maverick and Sabretooth, among others. Again, this is exactly what you expect it to be, and that is perfectly fine, and it is awesome. $6 for Predator versus Wolverine, issue number 2, and we still have copies of issue number 1 available. Hey, Brittany, glad you got the Hocus Pocus set. I'm sure Dave was fine grabbing those for you. I'm glad you got them before Halloween. Owen, I got you down for Predator versus Wolverine number 2. A new sci-fi series from Ablaze. This is called The Prism. It is $4. It is a sci-fi music related story. Artwork is really strong, kind of a little anime-esque, but really strong artwork. It's written by blah, blah, blah. It's written and drawn by Matteo De Longis. So if you're looking for something different, something involving science fiction and music and incredibly cool artwork, check out The Prism number 1. This is $4. Boom Studios has a new, what do I want to say? This is a crime comic called Slow Burn. It is a 5-issue miniseries written by Ollie Masters, artwork by Pierluigi Minati. Slow Burn is $5. Again, it's a straight up crime story. If that's your jam, then check this one out. We have a Hallows Eve one shot. Hallows Eve, of course, is a new Spider-Man villain who's proven to be fairly popular. Hallows Eve, The Big Night, written by Erica Schultz, artwork by Michael Dowling, $4 for Hallows Eve, The Big Night. Another of our new number twos, Wonder Woman #2 by Tom King and Daniel Sampere. First issue was fantastic. Second issue is equally strong. Sampier's artwork is stunning. Tom King is an amazing, accomplished writer. $5 for Wonder Woman #2. And I think we have 1 or 2 copies of Wonder Woman #1 available if you have not gotten into the series yet. And our last single issue today. Yeah, Owen, I agree. Owen says insane artwork in Wonder Woman. I agree. If you're looking for some of the best drawn or one of the best drawn books in kind of a traditional comic book style, I mean, look at this. It's stunning, stunning artwork in Wonder Woman. Last single issue this week is a facsimile from Marvel, Uncanny X-Men #129. Why is this important? Well, let me tell you. It is the first appearance of Kitty Pryde, the first appearance of Emma Frost, the first appearance of Sebastian Shaw, the first appearance of the Hellfire Club, and the beginning of the Dark Phoenix saga, all in one issue. One of the key issues in all of Marvel Comics, but especially the X-Men. This facsimile edition will only set you back $4, and it is, again, fantastic. I was flipping through it earlier. It is full of great ads, including this 2-page spread for Star Wars action figures. And this troop transport right here, that was one of my favorite toys as a kid. I remember getting that for Christmas one year. I woke up early, went into our family room, and started pressing buttons, and it started making noise. And I quickly ran my butt back to bed so that my parents wouldn't catch me. There's also a cool ad in here. Oh, look, here's an ad for a gun. A little Crossman is a lot of fun. I assume that's a BB gun. This has stunning John Byrne artwork in here. Oh, look at this. We got an ad for ROM. This is a fantastic time capsule of the 80s. Again, first appearance of lots of characters, great ads for classic toys, and the beginning of one of the X-Men's most famous storylines for $4. X-Men Facsimile Edition 129. Take a swig of water here before we get to the graphic novels. All right, first up is Harrower. This is from Boom Studios, Justin Jordan and Brahim Ravel. This is a straight up slasher story. In fact, this says, run, do not walk to pick this up if you're a slasher fan. Harrower has all the trappings of your next favorite slasher, complete with mystery, horny teens, and plenty of delicious violence. $18 gets you the Harrower graphic novel. Spoke about Tom King earlier with Wonder Woman. The first soft cover of his Human Target miniseries is available. This won the Eisner this year in 2 categories: Best Penciler and Inker for Greg Smallwood, and Best Limited Series for the series, The Human Target. This is almost like an Ed Brubaker crime series, noir series, but involving the main character is the Human Target, Christopher Chance, and there are several kind of C-list DC characters running around the edges, including the Justice League International from the 1980s. This first volume is $20 and collects the first 6 issues of the Human Target miniseries. And I read the first issue and loved it, decided to wait until they were all collected, so I'm super excited to dive into my copy of the Human Target. If you're looking for more Predator goodness beyond Predator versus Wolverine, we have the second volume of Predator Comics. This is a standalone miniseries, so it's labeled Volume 2, but you can read it on its own. It collects the Predator miniseries that came out this year, issues 1 through 5 by Ed Brisson, and it will leave fans of the franchise invigorated. It continues to find new ways to innovate its plot while pulling from everything that came before it. $18 for this new Predator graphic novel. If you're a fan of the Teen Titans, all growed up, check out Titans United Blood Pact. Again, a self contained Titan story. $17 collects the entire Titans United miniseries. That's kind of all you need to know. And I will leave you today with something that we normally don't talk about, but we do have a show coming up at the Civic Center in downtown Lima on Sunday starring Bluey. And Bluey is super popular with the young ones, and I guess adults like it too. I have not watched Bluey because all of my kids are too old for Bluey, but we have several Bluey books in stock if you are a fan of Bluey. We have Bluey's Halloween, a magnet book. This is $15. We have Bluey 5-minute stories, 6 stories in one book. Hooray! $15 for Bluey's 5-minute stories. We have a Bluey softcover book, Bluey Barky Boats, for $6. I think Bluey got the thumbs up of all the things in the live stream today. Bluey got the thumbs up. We have Bluey Fun and Games with 64 pages to color. So a Bluey coloring book is $7. And if you're looking for a Bluey bedtime story for your young ones, Bluey Sleepy Time is available. $19. It has special fold-out pages. It says so on the back. Bluey Sleepy Time. So if you're coming down to the Bluey show on Sunday, we will not be open, but come see us during regular business hours for the rest of the week. That is 11 to 6, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and 10 until 3 on Saturday to get your Bluey fix, or come see us anytime after the show. These would make great holiday gifts or just gifts to read with your children anytime, or grandchildren or nieces or nephews, what have you. So there we go. That is a quick overview of all of this week's new releases. I shouldn't say all this week's new releases. We have, of course, new releases that are issue, 3, 7, 129, whatever. But today is New Comic Book Day, so we hope to see you here at Alter Ego. Again, we're here from 11 until 6 today. If you are watching this video after the fact, you can still comment sold and the name of any of these items, and I will confirm through the video later whether we have these available for you. I did get Owen's request, so Owen, you're good to go. And I appreciate those of you that have stuck with me and hung out this morning to go over this week's new releases on the Alter Ego live sale. Next week, I am planning for Tuesday afternoon at 4 p.m., and we'll look at all of next week's new releases at that time. So have a fantastic rest of your week. Happy New Comic Book Day, and I hope to see you soon at Alter Ego.